Okay, so part two here. Uh, Pick back up where we left off, just past required text. I know we got down to course description, but maybe we could read through just to place importance on these crucial reading and note-taking strategies, which I know can be sometimes lost when we're taking an online course, or we're just very solo these days with online learning. And uh, yeah, and so there's a lot of distractions, but we got to make sure we still take notes and utilize them. And some of this course structure really relies upon that. And this is that your midterm and your finals are based on essay outlines, essay question prompts that you outline, and for the final that you write an essay on. And so being able to pull in, refer back to your notes is vital, and will set you up for so much more ease and success. And I'll show you some of that. Those questions are available right from the first day of the unit, first day of the course here. We could hop over there to the tab that's behind this silly control bar up top here in Screen Pal, and I'll get there in a little bit. Though I'll show you. There's your midterm is already available for you. And this in line with this emphasis that I have on fair and transparent assessments. What someone called test, and there's a big difference between a test and an exam, and I want you to be able to have your own pace and space to demonstrate what you've learned, what you're learning, instead of a time crunched, what I consider unfair means of assessment. So before we get there, let's learn a little bit how we can read better. It sounds surprising, but there's a lot of different ways to read. So my recommendation is to first start globally and then read locally. Hey, kind of what we're doing with geography, maybe. Sometimes we'll go local to global in the opposite way, but what I mean by that is to survey chapter and section headings and the structure. This goes, for readings outside of the textbook. Well, almost every week, if not every module, I link to very relevant and related course readings from outside sources. There's a structure and headings to those as well. Gaining an overall understanding of the scope and the main points. So once you have that scope in mind and some of the main points, then you can dive into the specifics and some of the points that are more pertinent, in terms of the essay questions to certain parts of those. Okay, make a reading template. I think I read that out to you before, to record the main questions and themes, concepts, and processes. So this is essentially like a short notes. You can have a template where you could even write out, those, a Word document where you have those headings saved right there, main questions, themes, concepts, processes. And then you ideally print it. I'm all for saving trees and everything, but maybe you're all digital these days and you learn best that way. We'll have a go-to digital file with those headings right there and subheadings written out, and then you fill out for each reading and chapter those sections, the main questions that the authors are looking at. What themes are especially highlighted? What concepts and processes are they using to exemplify these themes and to illustrate what's going on? Okay, and then always familiarize yourself with the textbook's table of contents and the appendix and the glossary. Most students will just skip right past those, but they're crucial to digesting, to engaging, to succeeding in this course. And so you're paying for those when you buy the book, so check them out. Make sure to read the supplemental chapter sections. Again, lots of students skip those, that they're super helpful and insightful. Analyze the exam questions before you start reading, right? Whoa, exam questions known to us from the beginning? Well, yeah, that's fair and proper. Okay, and so yeah, analyze those before you start reading so that you know where you're going with this, and you can you'll be able to draw out more from the readings when having those exam questions in mind. This helps focus your reading on finding the best evidence for developing your learning in essays. Okay, so for each one of these essay questions, you're going to make an argument. You're going to take a stance on an issue. And so, having that essay question in mind while reading, while starting off a module for that matter as well, at the beginning of each week, halfway through the week, you're going to be able to bring a critical lens to what we're talking about and be able to be as I say here, developing your learning, developing your understandings a lot more sufficiently, a lot more in advance than just doing it after the fact. Okay, read actively and creatively with note taking. I was talking a little bit about that, but using color, using notes, inserting readings or references to from other resources. We could talk at length about ways of active reading and how beneficial it will be for your college career and beyond. I'm still using this in numerous other realms of my professional life. So, this structure is what I learned while taking geography at community college back between 2001 and 2003. And this course course structure, granted from being taught face to face then, but by award-winning, internationally renowned professors. I say that humbly because I was so grateful to get to study underneath them at Columbia College in the Sierra north of us, and it inspired me, these courses, to go on and major in geography at university and then pursue it in my grad studies. In between there, going over to China and studying geography in the field. And then afterwards as well, down in South America and Ireland, and it's just been such an amazing part of my life to be able to study geography and now to get to teach it, and I owe so much thanks to that history to a similar course structure as this. Our discussion boards very much modeled on a Socratic dialogue, so a pedagogy that was used by Socrates in questioning his students and vice versa, and a lot of respect for students in that reciprocal dialogue. So that's where we're going with this. And here's the course description: an introduction to world regional geography, emphasizing the nature of major cultural regions of the world through comprehensive regional analysis, including his spatial and historical influences. You'll learn the social structures, religions, languages, political systems, economics, environmental relationships, transportation networks, population dynamics, and urban development across the globe, or at least overviews of them. And, that comes mandated from the state and policy frameworks that have us write that out like that. So that's not my description, but it's apt and appropriate. Okay, and then this is some of my description here. This is an asynchronous condensed course that requires your participation throughout each week. Okay, so asynchronous means we're taking this at different times. Like, you get to watch this whenever you want, and I respond when I can, within 24 to 48 hours, business days. Okay, but similar to a face-to-face course, you're required to fully participate, okay, in the course, in our discussions, okay, equivalent to having a 3-hour class twice a week, because you're taking this condensed version. So this is a lot, and for most students, it's no walk in the park, and you can all do it. It's certainly doable, but you gotta have a good chunk of time devoted to this course every week. State and national guidelines recommend at least or around 3 hours for each classroom hour. So if you say 9 hours, right, for each 3 hours, but we're doubling that because we're in a condensed course, a 9-week course, that would be 18 hours. You probably, can get by with the less than that, but please be able to um, work on this course for 12 to 18 hours a week. Um, and I go on to say here, I firmly believe in your ability to succeed and excel in this course and all your educational goals. And please let me know how I can help. A little bit of the other things that I referred to there about business day hours, and yeah, and just sometimes I can give voice feedback unless you wouldn't like that. It's great for hearing tone of voice sometimes. So course objectives, there's a lot of those. The state has us include there. Please read through that. And then the student learning outcomes as well is required to include and helpful for you all to read. Course content and respectful dialogue. I've added this. I didn't write it myself, but I added it. Let's cultivate a learning environment that supports diversity of thoughts, perspectives, and experiences and honors all identities. Including race/ethnicity, gender, class, veteran status, sexuality, religion, ability. With this in mind, let's discuss what we all need in order to slow down and recognize our own positions, take a look at someone else's, learn from each other. Okay, in this class, let's practice these skills together. And then I dive in here to our assignments, the discussion boards, their point values, right? There'll be 2 of these for each module, 2 modules per week, most weeks. And then essay outlines, okay? The students will outline the essay exam prompts. Outlines are for students to demonstrate their understanding of course material. They must effectively answer the question, include graphical representations, such as maps or other charts, figures. You don't have to copy paste them, just refer to them. Cite sources, have a clear and concise thesis statement. They can be turned in for feedback ahead of time. And please plan ahead and avoid procrastination because it's a significant assignment, but you need time to work on it. So let's see if I can bounce over there to our course modules here. And, so we get to see a little bit here of the intro, this first module. You'll be able to scroll through this on your own, the first discussion board, but I'm going to scroll down to module 7, our midterm, and here you have the essay outlines midterm, and those questions are right within inside there that we'll be looking at, and this is provided from, as well as the stipulations for them, provided right from day 1. Okay, so that's a little insight into those, and we'll dive deeper into that. Let's keep going with the rest of the syllabus. The essay exam, again, talking about how it allows you to demonstrate your learning and comprehension at your own pace and guidelines for those. Grading criteria right from up front with the outlines and exams. Our course grade breakdown, right? There are lots of discussion boards, the midterm essay, the final essay outline, midterm essay outlines, the final essay outlines, final exam, BCC policy there, final grading procedure, late policy, right? 10% deducted. This is the college standard practice. And then some of these important add and drop policies from the college, online course attendance policies. Please read through all of these. Here's our class schedule broken down by each module and the readings associated with each one. Email updates. These will be sent to your email box vis-a-vis the Canvas messaging system. So please make sure in your settings that your Canvas messages are set to go to your email. And then online instructions. These are all provided by the college here. Important things about that for you to read through. Personal computer disclaimer and recommended software. All of this is provided by the college. We're required to provide it for you. Academic honesty, very important, right? And your essay outlines and exams will be turned in through Turnitin, this feature within Canvas to assess for originality. But yeah, plagiarism's no joke. Just avoid it from the start. Very important is sexual harassment, Title IX policy to include here. Accessibility Coordination Center and academic support services. the info there for those.